trap is right there, and I've got this mouse by the tail. I'm giving Kim the play-by-play the whole time so her prayers can be specific, so she can continue to intercede and cry out. But I think at this point she's asleep. I go in with the butt end of the broom, and I try to get it on the trap and pull this thing out. But it digs its razor-sharp talons into the linoleum floor, and it is not coming very easily. I'm telling Kim what's going on. She's like, I believe in you. You can do it, Man up, And so I go upstairs, I explain what's going on, and she's like, what's going on? I don't know what's that. We should call probably like a forest ranger or something. We need a tranquilizer, we need to kill this thing. And so she's like, just go down and deal with it. And so I go back down, and now this is what's happened. In like 5 minutes in the kitchen, there is the trap lying right there in the kitchen.
Uh-oh.
Trap is lying there in the kitchen, no mouse.
Uh-oh.
No mouse. I'm thinking, what on earth is going on? So I set a couple more traps. I go back upstairs. I leave everything where it is. I explain to Kim what's going on. She goes, whatever, come to bed, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll catch something by the morning. I go back to the bathroom. I wash my face again. I look myself in the mirror and go, you are such a wuss. What is your problem? I shut off the light. I open the door. Trap goes off again. Gotcha twice. Trap goes off again. This time, no noise. Okay? This time, no noise. Trap goes off. Clean kill. No noise. And I have this thought. Kim gets up half an hour before me. If I can just
oh my God.
go to bed, she can deal with this in the morning.
Oh.
I've done my part. I tried my best. And my best is always good enough. And so I avoid that board. I am now in the bedroom. And she says, what are you doing? And I say, coming to bed. She says, I heard that. Heard what? Go down there and deal with that. I go down there. And here is this mouse. Right by the neck. Beady little eyes. Bulging right out of his head. Front teeth, kind of like mine. Stop. I'm sensitive to that. No. Front teeth, kind of like mine. Beady little eyes, bulging out of his head. It is dead. It is dead. I look over my shoulder. TV's still on. Another miner was just rescued. And here in this moment, I look down, and this mouse, its tail goes straight, and it's bent, and it's bent, and there's a piece missing off the end. And I'm saying, you stupid mouse! You just ate 5 minutes ago. What is your problem? Like, how dumb are you? Like, you just narrowly escaped with your life. Do you not understand the struggle and the hours of sleep that you owe me? Like, do you not understand the pain and the torture that you put me and the stress you put my family under? I'm like, you just escaped. You narrowly escaped the last time you got what it is that you needed, and you got bit, and it hurt, and there's the marks, and there's the scars to prove it, but it wasn't enough. And before you knew it, you were right back at it and doing it again. And as I'm yelling and condemnation and all over this mouse, I start to cry. And God tells me, Clark, how many times, moments after I saved you from something, did you go running right back to it? I'm on my knees, responding to the altar call with the dead mouse in my living room, or in my kitchen, as another miner was just rescued from the... How many times have you narrowly escaped? You just barely got bit by the tail. Not too many people found out. Maybe no one knows. Maybe it's just between you and him. But one more time, freedom was extended your way. But instead of living in it, you went running back to that thing that could trap you and potentially could kill you. And could potentially extinguish your life and could terminate you. How many times do you go running back to those things? That only because of His grace, that only because of His goodness, that only because of the freedom that is so freely granted to you and I, that came with such an incredible cost. I'm telling you, if we had a respect for the cost of the freedom, we wouldn't just continue to push it out on the curb. If we had a respect for the cost of the freedom, I think we'd treat it much differently. The mouse taught me an incredible lesson. What is that piece? What's that thing? Some of you wrote it down on your sheets probably last night. The struggles, the stuff, the sins, the issues, the things. Romans chapter 8, verse 18 to 27, it talks about freedom from bondage. And I believe that that's made available. And here's what we're going to do. Deb, why don't you just hop back up here? Just play softly. Not because it just helps. I don't know what it is. It just helps when somebody plays softly. I don't get it. But, how many of you saw your sheets from last night? You got your pieces of paper? Got them here with you? Okay. If you don't have them with you and you need to run to your cabin to get it, that's fine. Here's what we're going to do. On there, I want you to know that every one of those sins, every one of those struggles, every one of those pieces, I want you to know that there's freedom. I want you to know that there's freedom. And the best way to get rid of it isn't to fold it up, put it in your Bible, or tuck it in your pocket where you can go back to it. It's to burn it. It's to let it all go. Just get rid of the evidence. And maybe you still have the marks. Maybe some of you actually have the physical scars. Maybe you still have the reminders. And that's okay. Because hopefully that's a deterrent enough so that you don't go back to, or that you don't inflict on someone else that which was inflicted once upon you. I love that story, Jerry, man. It's such a cool story you shared today. I want you to know that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Come on. And I want you to know that freedom is going to reign the rest of this evening in this place. Showers of mercy and grace. Falling on every face, there is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And I wish I could tell you the freedom that came over my life as I knelt in my kitchen and wept. As I walked back up the stairs and came back to bed. And my wife came and she wrapped her arms around me. As if she knew the entire time that I needed that experience more than she did. I learned a simple lesson. Not from some blowhard preacher from Texas that came and spoke at some convention, though many of them are fantastic and wonderful, and I've learned many things there. Not some retreat or not some conference, but I learned something from a rodent in my kitchen. It revolutionized my life and my outlook at freedom. Don't go back to those things that have done nothing but cause pain and misfortune and hurt and anguish, but rather run towards the Father. When you fall, when you skin those knees, when you hurt yourself, when you're confused, when you're facing things that seem bigger than you, greater than you, mightier than you, taller than you, stronger than you, turn your eyes upon Jesus and look full in His wonderful face, and the things of this earth will grow strangely dim, right? In the light of His glory and His grace. Freedom, it's yours. It's waiting. There's a sign on it. Free. Because it was for freedom that Christ has set us free. If you have a sheet, if you don't have a sheet, there's pieces of paper, there's notepads. Ask somebody for a notepad. Ask somebody, I hope you don't mind me volunteering you. We've got sheets of paper right here. If you need a sheet of paper, I want you to come over, tear the sheet of paper off, grab a pen, write it on it. Write it, the sin, the struggle, the issue, whatever. We're going to toss it right here in this fire. And I believe that freedom is going to fill this place. After you throw it in the fire, I want you to find a place, find a spot somewhere here in this room, and just begin to cry out to Him, and just allow His Spirit to overwhelm you, because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And He inhabits the what? The praises of His people. So listen to me. I believe that tonight can be a real special night. A real special night. Okay, all across this place right now, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes, close your eyes. I've talked for way too long, way longer than I anticipated or I meant to. And I want to give Mike the absolute utmost of your attention and your best, and I know you're going to do that. But listen to me. I just believe ever so strongly, and even this afternoon we were talking, and we knew that we needed to go at this very intently and very earnestly. So, right now, what is it? What is it that the Spirit would say? What is it that Jesus, what is it that the Lord would bring back to your mind, saying, hey, I died for that too. You hear me? Hey, I died for that too. Yeah, I died for that. I died for that also. Hey, you know what? My blood, it covers that too. You know, my life was sufficient, and you know, that's covered. You don't need to carry that any longer. I believe that to not live in a healthy realm and understanding of freedom shows how little we do actually understand what it was that took place on the cross. That event, that moment, that love story changed the course of history. Freedom became available as the veil was torn.
That's right.
And no longer did you need to bring some fattened calf. No longer did you need to bring the best lamb from the litter. No longer did you need to bring all of these other things and sacrifice them in ceremony. Listen, He was the sacrifice that was required. And because He gave up His life, freedom became available to you. What is it that you need to let go of this evening? What is it that you've been holding on to for far too long? What is that peace that if you're not careful, 5 minutes from now, 5 days from now, 5 months from now, you will find yourself trapped and running back to? You can burn it away tonight. And so when you give some little lady a drink, and you tell her to remember, hey, what is it that, He told you that was my last sin that I confessed to? I can't remember. He wants it to be banished. He wants to burn it away. He doesnn't go and staple it, to a file in his desk. He doesn't go and pin it on a bulletin board in heaven. It's not there a reminder. He's not going to pull out the file, when you show up. And, oh, hey, Clark Moran. Oh, yes, we've been waiting for you. It's gone. It's gone. So live in such. Adopt that same attitude and mindset. Freedom. Freedom. Okay, all across this place, you got your lists. There's pads and paper and pens that are available to you. Listen, write it down, whatever it is, whatever it might be. Go to the back door there, open it up, throw it in there. You might want to spend some time praying before. I definitely encourage you to spend some time praying after. In the next maybe 4 or 5 minutes, I'm going to share one scripture with you. It's going to lead us into what Mike's bringing for us, and we're going to go for it one more time this evening, okay? Thanks so much for being so attentive. Go ahead, listen to the Spirit, be attentive to Him.